Have you ever wondered what 1,000 horses looks like on the beach? They'll be here this weekend. We'll tell you all about it coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're at the Radisson Plaza Hotel, Myrtle Beach. We're focused on the American Heart Association's 22nd annual Jack Monroe Horseback Ride-a-thon. And we're visiting with Bobby Gale, the owner of Myrtle Beach Chrysler Jeep and Bobby Gale Chrysler Dodge Jeep dealerships. Good morning, Bobby. Thanks so much for coming in. So exciting to think about all the riders from all over the country coming in the last couple of days and obviously being there getting ready for Saturday's big day.
It's a big event.
And Bobby, this is your second or third year as a major, and if not the big sponsor of the event.
Probably our fourth or fifth year of involvement.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's important to us.
It's a really special event. We were so blessed last year at this time to have your wife in, Lori, talking about Heavenscape and so many activities going on at the stables out there. It was great to get you in since y'all are clearly a team. When did you move to the Strand, and what had you been doing prior to the move?
We've been here for 7 years. When we bought the Myrtle Beach Chrysler, we moved here from Charlotte, and I was in the car business prior up in Charlotte for about 10 years.
Is that right? Now, had this been in the family? Was this a family business early on?
I purchased it from the previous owner, and it was a lot of learning on the job.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
OJT.
OJT. Do you and Lori have family here with you here in the area?
My father's here, and my sister, she was already here. She was a paramedic in the area, and she now works for me, does a lot of internet work, and my father's retired. It's a good situation. My wife's family is 4 hours away in Charlotte, so not too far away.
Yes, I'm sure they like getting down regularly.
Yeah, they come down a lot on the Harley.
I bet they do. Now, you said you and Lori have been involved 4 or 5 years.
That's correct.
What do you think was the prompting motivation to get you all first involved?
Well, my wife and kids love the horses. We've got about a dozen horses out on the farm, and they ride a lot. And you know, I'm a weekend rider. But with the Heart Association tie-in, it was a natural for me. I've lost my mother to a heart and lung disease, and my father's had some chronic heart ailments. And Mom was given 6 months to live, and because of some advances with research in heart medicine, she was able to get good quality of life for 11 years, and I just feel like it's a blessing and it's something that we need to give back to.
Absolutely. And obviously, being the main sponsor, I know at least last year, which was my first year involved with the Ride-a-thon, to see Bobby Gale Dodge and obviously Myrtle Beach Chrysler really step into the forefront. That's a big commitment, Bobby, to commit to the Heart Association.
It's something that people at the dealership know about. They know why I'm personally involved, and you know, some of the other Heart Association events, you know, they've been involved in as well, and you know, it builds good community relations, obviously, but also the people at the dealership know that we're putting our efforts back into the community, and it means a lot to them.
Out there of course, years ago it had been out at the Air Force Base, and then a couple years back out at Ocean Lakes Campground, and now it's in its second year at Lakewood Camping Resort. Have you seen a lot of the people coming back year after year?
Oh, there's a lot of people coming back. It's a unique event because they get to ride beside the beach. I mean, the horses aren't always acclimated to the sound of the water and everything else, but where else in the country can you go for a 20-mile ride on the beach? It's you can go on a lot of trail rides. There's a lot of different fundraisers or fun rides or whatever, but you know, it's probably the most unique event in the country, and the fact that you get full access to the beach for 20 miles, and a lot of people have been here for the full 22 years.
Right.
You know? Yeah. 22 years.
It is amazing.
They've got every T-shirt from every ride.
Now, are most of these locals?
No, they're from, I'd have to guess, most of the eastern United States. People come in. I know Lori boards some people in just for the short time at the farm, but they'll come in from several states away, and the majority of them stay down at Lakewood. You know, the Perry's a great host down there, and it's 4 or 5 days of fun because they get to ride several days. It's, you know, the one Saturday is the 20-mile organized ride when you'll see 1,000 horses on the beach, and that's a sight. Yeah. You know, you think of seahorses, you don't think of trail horses on the beach, but it is great. My kids just get into it. My wife loves it. is relaxing. The cell phone, it stays in the truck. I don't take it down to the beach, and it's just time to think about family and what's important.
Absolutely. And speaking of things, do you and Lori and your children ever travel to other rides around the country?
We do. Primarily, since we're here at the beach, we do mountain rides. Right. Blowing Rock's one of our favorite places to ride to, and it's cool in the summer when it's 100 degrees here. It's always about 70, and there's some beautiful places to see, but how can you beat the beach? And
if someone was to ask you, what do you think has contributed to the longevity of the event? Do you think it's just the aspect of being on the beach?
Well, no, the people that organize it, Jack Monroe and Tammy Eves and all, they put a lot of energy and effort into it. I mean, you see them at the end of the event, you can tell how hard they've worked, and they really put on a good show. They bring in vendors, that have a lot of equine or western type apparel and saddles and everything else. So there's a lot of community things. There's entertainment, there's food, there's just the beach obviously is the big draw. But still, and plus a lot of these people, before they get here, have raised quite a bit of money sponsoring them, for the number of miles they're going to ride. Right. So, I mean, Tammy's just done something, and Jack, that started, 20-something years ago, and with maybe 20 riders, now they got 1,000. They're raising over $100,000 a year, and it's going to a great cause. And, I'd say that the way Tammy and the Heart Association works, that 90+% is probably going straight to the research.
Exactly right. That's exactly right. And more than $1 million, Bobby's been raised since this thing kicked off.
I couldn't imagine another event like this. Yeah, it's really successful, and it's something that I hope keeps going.
Absolutely. And to think, of course, you and Lori, and particularly Lori, is a horse enthusiast. Does she get a lot out of it, seeing all the other folks out there? I mean, is it a big event for her?
Well, we're sponsors, and it's important for us for personal aspects. But it's our family. We get a chance to be together. We see friends. We see some of the same people. And when we go so hard every day, just being able to take 4 or 5 days and just absolutely just exhale and ride, it's just relaxing. It's good therapy.
And obviously, you're so much. I mean, as you said, you're just going so strong all the time. To be able to take some time away, and your children love this event.
Oh yeah, they get dad for the entire 3-4 days. They got mom. Most of the people are real courteous. They have to be careful because of the number of horses and all. But there's a lot of kids. There's people of all ages. There's people right here locally that come down that are doctors and attorneys, and some people that are involved in the animal type business, whether it's veterinarians or whatever, farriers, the guys that do the horseshoes and all. But you see people from every walk of life, and it's a neat event. But when you're wearing blue jeans and cowboy boots, you really can't tell who's who.
Right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right, and that's a great point.
Yeah.
That's a great point. And obviously, the ability to have the phone turned off and to be there for your kids all for 3 or 4 days. Do you have a special assignment as the major sponsor over the weekend?
Not really. I mean, I just Tammy and her crew does the majority of the work. Most of mine's all family related. I'm getting the horses to the beach and the trailer and everything, so we can be down there in the middle of it. We live here locally, obviously, and it's but we still take away from the farm and we go stay in Lakewood, and it's you can't beat the community feel, and the people walking from site to site, looking at each other's horses and introducing themselves. Right. And it's better to be there.
Yeah, that camaraderie sounds like.
Yeah, you can go down and look at the horses for an hour, but 1,000 horses going by is pretty impressive. When you spend 2-3 days there and meet the people, it makes the event a lot more worthwhile.
That must be, Bobby. That must be. What benefits do you think, and I'm glad you pointed your children to be out there, what benefits do you think they derive from working with horses or being around horses? Folks who think playing with horses, but there's a lot to it. I mean, there's a lot of work involved in having horses.
Well, it's taught them responsibility. They each have their own, and they have to do certain things to care for it. They're real involved in Boy Scouts as well, and some of their merit badges they've earned have dealt with the animal care and the horse care and the equine portion of it. But it's a good discipline. It's like any sport, but also there's the other portions of it where you just become appreciative of quiet times. It's not video games. It's not TV. It takes a little coordination, which maybe that's my biggest weakness on a horse, because my kids and my wife definitely ride better than I do. But I can sit in the saddle.
Oh, yes, absolutely. At least to be up on the saddle. Now, will you have other family other than your wife and kids out there this weekend, or any other employees from around the area? Do they come out as well?
Some of them do, but I mean, it's just a certain group of people. I mean, it's a big investment normally to take care of the horse, and but there's 1,000 families, but it really becomes one family.
Those are great words. How do you think Lakewood Camping Resort benefits? How does that location add to the enjoyment of the ride?
God, they've been there a long time. That's a quality facility. The Perrys do a great job. They're good hosts. It's a lot of exposure to people that see Myrtle Beach maybe for the first time, that they're coming only here specifically for that. And it's one of the nicest resorts down here.
You heard him say it. Those 1,000 families getting together becomes one huge family, all committed to the same goal, fighting heart disease and strokes, but being out there on the beach. 1,000 horses, you never see anything like it. Get out there and see Bobby and his family and the excitement all weekend long. The inspiration from your mother and your dad and so many others to get involved. Thanks again, Bobby.
All right. Glad to be here.
Absolutely. Stay tuned to Howard Richardson coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome back to Carolina People. This morning we're at the Radisson Plaza Hotel, Myrtle Beach. We're focused on the American Heart Association's 22nd annual Jack Monroe Horseback Ride-a-thon. And we're visiting with Howard Richardson, the president of Alliance Legal Processing. Good morning, Howard.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for coming in. It was so great getting Bobby in earlier and hearing about all the activities. Obviously, Myrtle Beach Chrysler Dodge and Bobby Gale Dodge out in Loris, they've done so much for the area and really making this horseback ride-a-thon a big one. Of course, you all have been involved as sponsors for a while, you and your family.
Yes, we became involved probably 5-6 years ago. My father was originally involved, has Strand Ice in Myrtle Beach, and that's how he became involved. And by me working with him, I was able to get involved last year, and actually as a rider. So this year I became more involved and actually went in as one of the actual coordinators. So it's gave me a little bit more time to actually do a few things this year that I wasn't able to do last year.
How exciting. And the riders, all the campers started arriving yesterday, and to think they're getting ready for this Saturday's event. We're just 48 hours away. It kicks off at 8 a.m. there on Saturday morning.
Yes, we'll start at 8 a.m. and we'll go down 10 miles on the beach, and then we'll turn around and come back. So it's a good day. We're expecting a good, good turnout for the rest of the day.
Right, rain or shine. We can't predict the weather in 48 hours from now, but to think rain or shine, I mean, it's still going to happen, and there'll still be 1,000 plus riders out there.
Well, just like last year, we had it was a rainy day.
Right.
And everyone still completed the ride. So, in case that happens again, we're going to do the same thing.
Oh yeah, Howard. What was that like for you as a first-time rider last year? Obviously, it was at Lakewood last year, the first year at Lakewood. What's it like being on a horse out on the beach?
It's freedom.
Yeah.
It's kind of, if you put in perspective of being on a motorcycle, it's the same thing, but you have a horse on the beach.
And on a motorcycle, oftentimes you're not on the beach either. Oftentimes, that must be exciting. You said your family was involved in Strand Ice. And did you grow up here in Horry County?
Yes. I was born and raised here in Myrtle Beach.
And your company, Alliance Legal Processing, is a sponsor of the Ride-a-thon. Is this the first time you've sponsored, or this company has sponsored the Ride-a-thon?
Yes, sir. This is the first time.
Share with the viewers a little bit about Alliance Legal Processing. What is that?
Alliance Legal Processing is a legal processing service that I am contracted with several attorneys throughout Horry County and Georgetown County, and I serve subpoenas for court, as well as for court of common pleas, as well as family court papers.
Okay. What prompted you to get into this business, Howard?
Just a change. I've been in the family business for so long, and I wanted to travel another avenue that I wanted to do myself. So by speaking with a friend of mine who is an attorney, we kind of put our heads together, and that's how it got started. And it's been real good for me. So.
How exciting, Alliance Legal Processing. And how long has it been in existence?
4 months.
Is that right? Golly, and you're really feeling good about it already?
Yeah.
That's wonderful. And of course, you talked about the family business. Is it just Strand Ice?
Strand Ice and Strand Seafood.
Strand Seafood over near Villa Romana.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Pass by it all the time. That's a favorite place there. That's wonderful. Strand Seafood right on the corner of 8th and Kings Highway.
That's right.
Golly, that's a great location. So, and that's what you'd been doing much of your life prior to starting up Alliance Legal Processing?
Yes, sir.
That's wonderful. Has Strand Ice and Strand Seafood participated as a sponsor of the Heart Association's Horseback Ride-a-thon?
Yes, sir. In previous years, they have. This year, Strand Ice is still a sponsor, but on a lower level, and which will be participating in. And I see it throughout another 5-6 years or better.
Great. Good. Thanks to the Perry family and so many folks. Of course, Don Perry Sr.'s coming in tomorrow with Jack Monroe to talk about the ride. And to think at that point we'll just be virtually 24 hours from the ride. There's so many riders and campers now arriving. Lakewood was getting crowded yesterday.
Well, I think everyone will have plenty to do. As the time gets down to, of course, Saturday morning, it's going to get a lot more hectic. And we just ask everyone just to bear with us and be patient.
Howard, did you grow up riding horses?
I had horses when I was in a younger age. And, of course, just like anything else, you kind of get out of the hobby. And last year, my wife and I found the interest to go back into horses. My wife had never had horses before, so we purchased 2 horses over a year ago. And since then, we have 7 now.
Oh, come on.
And a new farm and a barn, so.
Alliance Legal Processing must be doing very well. Golly.
Not, of course, I guess it's just a hobby. So it's something we enjoy together with our family.
Well,
so our kids are involved too.
That's a big deal. I mean, there's a lot of upkeep, and you said your kids are involved.
Yes.
Oh, great. What do you think they've learned from owning a horse?
Just the care, responsibility. You find responsibility. Some people don't really realize how much involvement there is in a horse, but there is a lot of responsibility.
Now, will your family be joining you out there this weekend for the ride?
My 2 kids will be. My wife was previously going to join us in the ride, but last week she had open heart surgery, quadruple bypass surgery. So we kind of had to take her name off, so she's not able to ride.
She had open heart surgery just
Yes.
last week. My God.
So that's kind of renewed our interest in it as far as a family to raise the money for this, because it's so much out there and so much disease that you just there's got to be a cure. So the more money that we raise, just the more awareness and the more there is for a cure.
Howard, was that a planned, do you mind me asking, was that a planned procedure for your wife? You said quadruple bypass?
It was unexpected. She was having some other medical problems that was leading to other areas that we tested several different things. And on the last Thursday, she had a gallbladder, ultrasound on a gallbladder, which that's what we were determined it was at last. And after that was over, it came back negative, and they found out that she had some blockage in her heart. So they did emergency heart cath, and then was transferred to Grand Strand, where they did the surgery the following day.
Immediately?
Yes. So it turned out it was a good success, and it's amazing now from how fast that you recruit from it, where used to it would take you weeks at a time. But that's because of the money that's provided for the education.
And has she gotten out of the hospital yet?
Yes, she came home last Tuesday, so she is home now and she's doing well.
Wow, well that's a real quick turnaround. That's amazing. That is amazing. how your son or your children are doing well? That everyone's gotten through this together.
Yeah, it's been hard, but through prayers and all of our friends we had, we just everybody has helped us. So it means a lot.
Now, will your dad be out, who's one of the sponsors? Will he be out at the ride this day after tomorrow?
No, he will not. My father has a contract with NASCAR with Rockingham Motor Speedway. So that falls on the same weekend as the horse ride. So he'll be in Rockingham, North Carolina. So
providing, do you mind me asking, is that ice? Or
yes.
Right, yeah. Well, that's exciting.
Yeah.
How did he land that? That's a big trip from strand ice. I guess they travel around quite a bit.
Right now, the only one that we do is Rockingham, and this is our second year, and that was something that was put in place before I left. So it's worked out to be a good thing. So I think next year he's going to pursue Darlington. Will be the next one.
Yeah. What was that like growing up working in the family business, both with Strand Ice and Strand Seafood? I mean, ice, I'm sure, is something we really take for granted, probably the ability to have it around. What was that like growing up and working in the family business?
It's hectic sometimes. You're always busy. There's never any time to rest. So it keeps you very busy.
That's right. It's probably tough to take a break. Probably is very tough to take a break. And surely the benefits that you and your family have derived from the association, obviously with the American Heart Association, raising as much money as possible, particularly with your wife's recent incident, and that's prompted your children to get really active and excited about this weekend as well.
Oh, yes. After my son has kind of been relaxed, he hasn't really raised that much money up until we found out about my wife. And he's actually spent 2 days last week, so he's been out in the neighborhood and he's hit it pretty hard.
Great.
Kind of renewed.
And this year you've become a part of the planning committee for the Ride-a-thon. How did that come about?
Well, I showed an interest. I approached Tammy because I knew that she needed volunteers, and that's something that it's hard at this day and time to get someone to actually volunteer their time with as busy as people stay. So Tammy, we talked about it, and we started off with the food and beverage. Then it went into the entertainment. So that's kind of what I'm involved in this year.
Well, obviously the ride's in 48 hours, but what are some of the events that will be happening tonight, tomorrow night, and even Saturday after the ride?
Saturday night we have Charlie Floyd that's going to be performing from 7 to 11, and everyone is invited, all the public, and if you're not a participant in the ride, you can still come in and to the concert, and the fee will be $5 at the gate.
Great. And that's something they could call Lakewood about?
Yes, sir.
That's the 843-238-5161 number.
Yes, sir.
Someone could call Lakewood even if they hadn't been out on the beach that day?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And then Sunday morning we have a church service which will start at 10 o'clock a.m. And the Jordan River Boys will be performing, and Cowboys for Christ. If you have never seen a preaching horse, come check us out.
Yeah.
Sunday we're going to have a horse that actually is a preaching horse.
You said Cowboys for Christ.
Yes.
That's wonderful, Howard. That'll be a great tie-in with the Lakewood family, their camping resort there, and surely their focus on the ministry.
And the public is invited to that also.
Okay, great. There will not be a fee associated with that.
No,
you
sir.
can tithe a little bit if you'd like. Well, that's wonderful. Go ahead,
And then
please.
we'll also have breakfast that morning too. So those that come to the service, breakfast will be provided as long as it lasts.
Now, there's some pizza and Pepsi and some other things. Am I correct? The day of the ride, out on the beach, enough? As much as is available.
Yes, Domino's. They will come in and they will provide the pizza as well as like they have in the past. And we have some vendors coming in also that if you choose not to eat some of like the pizza or the barbecue, that you can go to some of the other vendors.
Now, for viewers who may not be totally familiar with what you talked about, 10 miles up, 10 miles back, but the ride is open from 8 to 4. How long does it take to travel? Do you make the trips a couple times, or Does it take that long to ride up and back?
It's kind of a just a casual, take your time. A lot of people will try to go and do the whole 10 miles straight and then come back and stop a few times, but it's you see a lot of people that stop at every pier that may have to use the restroom or will grab a drink or whatever, or let the horse rest. Reason you have so much time is you may have someone that may not even show up until 11 o'clock that will get on the beach at 11 o'clock to start their ride, so it still gives them time in the afternoon to finish their ride. But the actual start and the actual parade of the horses will start that morning, early morning on Saturday morning.
You heard him say it, the key words: freedom, the ability to get out there, to be on a horse out on the Atlantic Ocean, out there at the beach level. The 22nd annual, of course, inspired by your amazing family commitment to fighting heart disease and stroke, and now seeing how it's affected your own family. Right. And really pushing that interest even more. You and your children will be out there. Howard, thanks so much for being with us this morning. Stay tuned to more Carolina People coming up next. We want to thank Bobby Gale of Myrtle Beach Chrysler Jeep and Bobby Gale Dodge of Loris, and Howard Richardson of Alliance Legal Processing for making today's Carolina People so special.